All right, my friends. Hello once again. Hambbage right back after a little break to upload, move around. I refreshed the coffee a little bit, and yeah. Otherwise, we're ready to go. So, for anybody who didn't happen to catch the last episode and needs a little quick catch up, was jumping around. We in the last episode used up the last of our 4 picks in our gas hall, clearing out with the remaining netherrack blocks that kind of fill in the space there. One magma block is kind of scary. I saw that one. I'll take just a moment. Hopefully we'll get a bunch more of these guys around. Kind of come out, stand at the end of the pier here. See one down there. Let's go get this guy while these little ones move around. He seems to be a little stuck. Both of these two. Oh, come on, dude. Get over here. So yeah, this is our second pick. We had fully repaired one. Came down here maybe around halfway through the episode, and got one completely done. This one we're working on, and relived a bit of my Thanksgiving Day memories. It was excellent. I hope yours were as well. And had talked some that we'd like to get our surprise later in advancement done. And that is the arbalistic. So I think, I don't have it in front of me here. It's not arborist, like a tree doctor. It's whatever arbalistic means. But whatever that may be, we're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to get to it in this episode. I'd like to and have it done because, as I was talking about, after the Thanksgiving dinner and all that, watching the late American football game last night, I had the laptop up and was kind of looking around a little bit and thinking, just kind of sitting there. All right, I'm not moving much. What can we be doing to get ready? And the thing that kind of fueled it was one of my subscribed channels, or a channel that I'd found or something yesterday, was talking about ways to prepare for 118, and they were pretty straight. There's stuff we already do, but it was things that if you weren't as familiar with the game, would be a huge help to know going into a new version release. And they were things like you want to get elytra, right? Because it's going to be with the cliffs and caves part of it. And I haven't, until this week, I really, if I saw 118 in the description of a video, I kind of shied away. Even some of my my long subscribed channels, I just said, hey, I'll come in and click and, hit you with likes and mentioned in some of the comments, hey, I'm going to save this content for once the new version is out so that I can go explore it fresh. But I appreciate that you got your stuff, and I'll definitely be checking it out once it's come. So some of those guides and things will become useful. And I know from a viewer count perspective, that's a little dumb. Everybody races for the exclusive look at what is totally not exclusive snapshot versions. Like, they're out there, anybody can grab them, but unless you're playing, I think a lot of people do, but unless you're ready to play the snapshots and understand that you're going to be subject to content that's going to be getting pulled out, things that will never necessarily make it into the actual game, um, I think it's more satisfactory to play like this. And, that's, I remember being at that age back then. It definitely wasn't. I grew up in that age of PC games and all that kind of stuff where there were massive competitions to be beta testers or to get beta access. Some of the MMORPG, right? Multiple massively multiplayer online role-playing games. Getting getting beta access to some of those was considered absolutely huge. I remember Knights of the Old Republic, the Star Wars MMO, and I hadn't discovered the Lord of the Rings one until it was already up and going, so I didn't really have visibility to that. But you'd have to like try to sign up, and you'd be on wait lists and stuff, and who would get them, and I'm sure they had a number of people that were going to get them anyway. But this was kind of before, or at least at the very earliest of any kind of web video content. That was a thing that the big deal of YouTube wasn't that they had content, or so much. It was that it was streamable live. It coincided with people getting a more universal, higher speed access to where you could actually enjoy these kind of things. Because, it used to be you'd have to download, a compress or whatever for a video file and then store it locally to be able to play it in anything other than just like a slideshow. It was awful. So that was kind of the novelty of YouTube. But, MMOs made that stuff amazing because you had the game world loaded, and think like New World or something like that, right? You've got a big game file with lots of graphics and details and everything there, but the online part of it was that then the other entities were shared, so there wasn't like a distributed channel. It wasn't like going to a Minecraft server and logging in so that you're playing on a world and an engine that is existing elsewhere. You had all that on your PC because trying to have that much data going over an internet connection would have been almost impossible. And it worked pretty well. But that was the beta stuff. So anyway, back then, same deal. People wanted to get into the betas to see these worlds, but there wasn't the ongoing beta testing, right? That would be, and I always think that's it's just a legacy carryover deal. But back then, it was you were getting beta access to a new game, and it was going to be a world and things that you'd otherwise just have to wait for. And there were no video teaser. There were the officially released teasers that would be at, a game con or something like that now. And so those would be produced and released by the development companies. But you didn't get to, there wasn't I'm going to go watch a Let's Play of this entire game. You were just kind of left to wait. Now, we need food, and I believe that's not in our ender chest. just get this last little bit of XP or durability or whatever you want to call it. Come on. I hear you up here somewhere. Where you at? Oh. Come on. Get down here. Get. Still didn't do it. Let's go, guys. Burning daylight. So yeah, I've been content to wait for the 18, and I'm very happy with that choice. But I was watching this get ready for the release. What are good things to have done? And it was stuff like, don't go exploring far into your world. Save the chunks so that you can go. For us, that doesn't matter too much. We know, and the creator even said, or you're just gonna have to be prepared to travel a long way in your world to get there. All right, let's swap. Grab this. We'll get you, and then we'll go get our food. I don't know. Maybe we're just closer to going back to base. There were a few other good tips. I don't recall them all. Elytra said, I think, don't generate a bunch of chunks. There was something, and he said that there's an advancement to do with the Striders and getting them back to the overworld as we kind of did with the gas. Although I don't think you have to kill them once they're... Oh, no, you have to do something with riding them in lava in the overworld for a certain distance. We'll figure all that out. I kind of skipped ahead. But we definitely already have having gotten the ride, the Strider one, it's not going to be too much for us. Wow. Okay. So I guess we'll get some more XP back here. I hope this lack of food doesn't get us. At least we don't... Oh, my doggy! Oh, I totally just jumped back in horror. That was like when you kick him in the... I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to hit you with a stake. Get out of the way, though, dude. You stay over there and get all those guys. I'm going to come over here. Can't believe I hit my dog. Hope he survives so we can feed him up. Oh, now I got a torch. Okay, he's on top of the box. Stay over there. Don't get in the way of my... What are you doing, dude? Alright, let's go upstairs. I think we got all the big ones. Get him some steak. Get us some pork. I think we still have a full stack, don't we? No, but we have enough. And we have... Yeah, you need... See his tail pop back up there? Alright, I wish I had a comparison dog, but I think we got you. Come here. One more. Okay, there. Now he's full and happy. So they've got hidden health bars on them. We'll have to remember to cook some more food. We can do that. I'm more and more feeling that we're going to be put you back where you had been way back. I think we're going to be working XP. I missed all that. Shoot. All the way through this one, and then XP and netherrack in the gas hall. Wow, that is a loud plane. You guys hearing that at all? It's not like supersonic jet or anything. It's like it sounds like a single engine. It was like... getting there. Little infestation problem. So did I finish the getting? Oh no, I didn't finish the. I didn't get to the main part of the getting ready for 118 story. So seeing that was kind of like, all right, again, what when we get done clearing out this gas stream, now that we've already gotten the advancement, what helps us in our world get ready for 118, knowing that the things we need or are looking to do are the powder snow and how do we get here advancements. It was around then this time that I realized, oh, and there's another one that we've totally forgotten about. But that being neither here nor there, we need to. Well, the biggest challenge for me, and full disclosure, I think every other advancement. Well, I've never done powder snow either, but that being the only one of the 117s that we haven't done yet. And then how did we get here being the only one that I've never done in my own play. That's why did I come upstairs? Should we sleep if we can? It's been a long time since we slept. There we go. I don't have any experience to tell me like, okay, this is where it's gonna stick. Now I've watched some of my favorite content creators do it in their own hardcore worlds, but it's been a long time. And I haven't specifically watched anything. But the part that's most, I think, intimidating to me, or at least is going to appear to be the most tedious, is getting the shulker from the overworld to. Let's go down this path and just clear these out. Don't you go through. Come here. Don't want to lose more XP. But let's clear these so that we'll have a better chance of spawning more over in our little area. Can't get... So I think we're building up quite a crew over on this side. Maybe we should make a little causeway there now that we've gotten rid of all our blocks. Don't have to do that this time, but future repairs. So I don't know. This is kind of now feeling like maybe we're not as quick as we are in the end. We still need that Enderman farm, I think, for repairs and XP. Alright, those guys can actually stay. We don't care about them because they'll come back over. Get up. Maybe not the best plan. Okay, so I promise I will somehow get to the end of this thought and story. So anyway, having never done How Do We Get Here before, the thing that I haven't done and, I think will be challenging and certainly a big project is getting a shulker back from the end to our overworld to set up to give us the levitate effect for How Do We Get Here. That's one of the effects that we need to have applied. And the way that I've seen that done, there's two things that I understand. One is you can just try to portal and get over to, like, basically do your hero of the village and whatever the whatchamacallit is, and then go to the end and set up there and take a dolphin to the end with you is one way to do it. Or the other is to bring a shulker back to the overworld. I tend to be with the majority of content creators here. I think it makes more sense to set up and do everything in the overworld and just bring a shulker. So what does that mean? It means you got to have an end city with a shulker, and then you have to bridge across the from that dragon central end island to the end distance, whatever it is, where all the cities are. And of course, the first cities we found, we were in a full rush to get elytra and shulker boxes. Now we've done that. We don't need. Probably we wouldn't need any more shulker boxes. Although they're nice to keep adding. Did that guy just despawn or did he jump up somewhere? I just saw you, dude. Okay. How about this guy? Come on. And this guy. Okay, he's going back into... No. So much easier to get when they're down here than when they're up on the... Now, last time I ran all the way down here... Stop it! I don't even... Oh, is he going up there? I thought he was going to be a little more hung up than that. And see the damage. If they land on top of you, you are getting wrecked. Alright, now... Let's come back here. So for my envisionment, and we could... I don't think that there's a way to get the shulker from, even if you get lucky and have a portal near a city out on the other side of the islands, I don't think you can get it through it. I think you have to get back to that main central end portal to return to the overworld, obviously, but you can't go portal to portal to get back to the island. You have to bridge it. And that means maybe that's where we'll use our netherrack supplies because we've got so many of them. But, you're basically just building out a bridge to drive a boat across to get back to that island. And then you build a little contraption to push the shulker through. It's longer and tedious. I don't think it's super overly complicated. But we will need a city that still has shulkers, ideally at the near end of one of those portals. So I'm thinking, what I thought until we realized that we had another advancement to go, that as soon as we finished the room up there, we would just start going and spawning and fighting dragons until 18 dropped. And get as many of those portals in the ring. Not even worry about going through them yet. But we could build up the stairway ring that connects them all. Have all that basically done and ready to go. And then... when it did go, we, or even before, we'd be able to go out through all those portals, see which one immediately has a close Ender City, and the best hope is that you get those two first shulkers into boats, and when they're in the boat, then they can't teleport away, right? They're kind of stuck in there. and the boats even lessen the amount of levitation they'll hit. Pretty sure if they hit you while you're in the boat, you stay seated. I don't think you got to deal with that. You do have to deal with the damage from the hits, but I don't think you'll fly out of the boat. It's like you have a seatbelt on. But I've never put one in a boat. I don't know if you. I know you got to do the piston thing to get them once they've gotten out of the boat to get them to go through the portal, and that part should be fine. But there's going to be a lot of learning there, and at least having the cities identified, and we could be building the bridge, getting that all ready to go. So that's still my thought as to after we've finished what we're going to work on. But now I do suspect that our next video, which won't at least be an immediate continuation of these. Maybe I come back tonight and do one, but the rest of my day is going to be pretty tied up. So I'd say it's no better than 50-50 that I come back and record another one today. So probably first thing tomorrow is when we get the arbalistic and do any around the base stuff that we need to get done, inventory or anything along those lines. We may be finishing up in the gas hall too, for all I know, because these aren't going fast. At least not as fast as I'd like. Watch this move, if this is even a move. There. Can we get one down here? Yep. No, not there. Alright, I see you. Oh, we don't have a pick, which is probably good. Alright, let's just make do here. Okay, that's good. I don't know why I was worried about it. I was thinking like, okay, well, we want to. Oh, it's because those had to be placed downward. That's how I'd gotten into the whole deal. You keep coming. I'm not forgetting about you, dude. I'm just gonna come over here while you're figuring that out. Is he going? What? I'm building this whole little bridge here to hang out with you, dude. That's going to be old. But I will gladly deal with... Oh, I'm not managing contact with any of these. Oh, are you stuck? Oh, that's too bad. Again. You got no novelty. Oh, you're way over there. Don't hit my little station portal area. Alright, Let's try to take you. Now you're under the lava, aren't you? Great. Oh, these guys all want. That was the worst little exchange ever. Come on down. But not on my head. Come on down. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, nothing else above. Let's finish this finally. That's the best part. Every time you think like, okay, I'm getting to the point where I need this, then it's totally unnecessary. Hear something hopping, but... Alright. Before I forget, back into there. And we must have something up overhead. Let's go check this room real fast. Yep. Hey. Haven't checked mob stats in a while, but I'm pretty sure that Lava Slimes now have a healthy lead on everybody else. They and their green counterparts had been already well represented after these couple episodes. Oh, I still don't have a pick. It's a lot of knockback from my netherite armor. Swap. Didn't entirely forget that time. I just wanted to get a little accessible platform out here. I'll leave it for now. Ooh, look at all this. Great little cluster. Um, so yeah, sorry, I know. Didn't really have more directly related. I think I've laid out what we want to do. I'll try to quickly summarize that at the end of the episode in case folks are skipping ahead. But would love to shout out to you guys and say that if you've done the HCM C100, or more specifically, if you've done How Did We Get Here, and, understand, if you're going to reply, not that I usually get many direct responses in comments, but if you do want to help me out, and you've done How Did We Get Here, playing in a style that I play, like that's key, right? Ugh. If your tip is, oh, just, go up on the nether roof and do it up there, understand I don't do that, so that's not a very helpful tip, right? There's some of those kind of things. It's like, I appreciate the effort, and I really do. Like, that's some of the times when I'm like, is this a bot? And hey, I get the game, right? A lot of folks are just like, hey, I've got copy pasta comments, I'm gonna put them out, and I've actually found some of the content from some of those people to be cool, very awesome. But especially on first comments, you're like, dude, is this person actually watching or no? And sometimes you're kind of left to wonder, like, you seeing how I play here? So, and some people maybe jaws on the floor hearing that. What do you mean you don't go on the nether roof? Why would anybody not do that? I'm not going to get into it again. It's kind of a broken record. But I don't. And it's not saying it's wrong, but it's not how I play. It's not how I get enjoyment out of this game. So, but that stuff. If you're not cheating stuff in, if it can be done in vanilla Java version, and you've done it, and you got some tips for me, or you're like, oh, this is something to do in preparation that you don't seem to have in your world, or whatever. Let me know that, because I would love to try to get ahead, and that may just be all dragon, right? That probably would take all the time that's left. It's the 26th today. If we're looking at it being the 27th. Before we're even on to getting the arbalistic. We're not going to need a massive list of tasks, right? And why are you... So it may be irrelevant, but I'll give all that description, and at the end of the video I'll just say, hey, if you've done any How Did We Get Here, or have experience, or you have video or anything like that, let me know. But you guys get the inside scoop on the comments. I may have to just dismiss out of hand and be like, hey, thank you so much for the tip, and you'll know. I'm like, that's not going to ever happen in this world. Like, for instance, when I realized that I was watching or needed to do arbalistic, I just kind of, dropped it like, hey, I haven't seen anybody run that in a while. I wonder if there's anything going on, new or different. Spoiler, there's not. It's still the same old. But I found some... forgive me if I'm wrong, and if you found your way back here by any chance, I loved your video. I commented in it, and, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I do it too. But this guy sounded as if it was a Russian accent. I'm no expert in European accents, but I know what vaguely sounds like a Russian accent. I don't know if there's other places that would also sound like that, and it certainly could be a part of the former Soviet bloc that is now an independent country, and I don't even remember the guy's name. Sorry. If you go look up vanilla or hardcore arbalistic, he's got a recent video, and he's doing a survival HCMC. I don't know if he's calling it that or if he's familiar with the term, but he's basically running all the advancements. And so I'm like watching along, and he's knocking out he'd just gotten a trident. So he's like, okay, we're going to get these, and he's doing the rolling the enchants and everything in an hour-long episode where he doesn't have breaks. And I love it. I'm like I said, love this playstyle. I'm working some of these in hardcore. Hope you have good luck with it. But I was just blown away. This is, I would guess, someone that's creating content like this in a second language. And, may well have been a second language that he's been taught and immersed in throughout his life. Or, very well, it could just have family or something that's Russian. And for all I know, he lives down the street from me, right? Just has a family accent. So I don't know. I guess it's a little typecasting just to say that, but anyway, guy sounds like he has a Russian accent. I was impressed. It sounded as though it was going out of his way to create content in a different language, and I loved the style of play, loved the style of videos. But he's going along, and I'm like, I was jumping, as I've described in the past, like, okay, well, I know I've certainly lived my own life of trying to enchant tridents and get them, so I don't have to watch every minute of that content. I jumped ahead. And the next thing I know, he's like, oh, yeah, we got powder snow. And he'd been talking about, hey, these are all things I'm getting before 18. Very similar to what we're doing here. And I was like, well, how did he manage that? Because he talked about it's totally impractical to fill the cauldrons with snow. It's super, super slow. And I agree. So he was saying that, and then the next thing I know, he's like, he'd gotten the arbalistic one, which connects onto the little board of advancements just after the powder snow one, and I looked, and it was filled in, and at the beginning of his video, it hadn't been. I was like, how on earth? See, this is what I always do to myself. I put that there. All right, we're so close now. Let's do a quick time check while we're at this break point. 43 minutes. So this is not feeling very efficient, but it's good story time, and I do like the moving around as opposed to just standing and waiting for these things to refill. But I'm guessing we'll maybe let everything wait and set up a video to do with the 4 picks in the end, and just do them at the Enderman farms. I think that's better than the creeper farm. Just knowing that at one point it took me like 2 hours to do a full set of repairs, so I don't think we're quite there here. We're probably at an hour to get 3 based on the runtime so far on this one. So, it's a little quicker than that. Maybe the Endermen are faster. Especially if we made a 3rd where we could pull more. But I don't want to do that before we just go and spawn a bunch of dragons. So, who knows? We'll see. Anyway, this guy, love you, man. Whatever your name is, I love your content. I'm totally back to watch. I said I was, going to start the series back over again, and we'll kind of watch it from the beginning if I find time. I found like 3 of those creators yesterday, so I'm in trouble in hopes of catching up to anything. But, yeah, I'm like watching it, and he's talking about all the stuff I know. Like, you can put out cauldrons. It's the only way to get, to gather the powder snow in the pre-release. And then he's got the advancement. And I was like, well, how did he do that? So I start looking at, like, powder snow in the wiki, like the not how do you get the thing, but the attributes of powder snow. And there was something about bucket of powder of snow, and I was like, okay, well maybe you can, go out and like scoop buckets of it and dump them into the cauldron. Because my idea had been maybe it's a dripstone deal, right? Like lava and water, you can put dripstone over cauldrons and fill the cauldrons. So I was like, well, maybe you can put like a block of snow on top of dripstone and then drip in powder snow and fill the bucket that way. It seemed game logical to me, but I found that no, that's not the case, and neither is any other means of doing that until now. And so my reasoning remains: we didn't miss out on any opportunities. In 118, powder snow will occur naturally in some of the the cliffs part of the cliffs and claves is the update to mountains. So there will be naturally occurring powder snow, and we'll just get the right boots and go walk on it and not sink in, and we'll get the advancement. But we're just waiting on that. But I'm watching the video, so I've seen that he somehow got it. I've gone out and tried to figure out okay, well before I get spoiled, what could it possibly be? And I rack my brain and I go to the wiki and I'm looking at the attributes of powder snow to see, is there a way for me to get around it not naturally generating? And I can't find anything, and I'm like, what's going on? So then I go back and at this point I think I've been letting the video play, and so I start jumping forward and kind of trying to dial in on when he gets it. He spawned in because he was in survival mode, not hardcore, so he just enabled cheats and spawned in a cauldron. Fair enough. It doesn't in any way lessen my enjoyment of his series, but it's not something I'm going to do in this series. I hope you guys appreciate that. That's part of my vanilla hardcore. Hardcore, obviously, you don't even have that option, but that's one of the things I wouldn't. To me, that would just kind of lessen my sense of accomplishment of, hey, I've gotten all of the advancements for myself. And this guy may have already done it clean. I don't know anything about him other than the one video I discovered and watched, but it was one that surprised me, and it gave me a lot of reason to look at stuff and wonder. Seems like there was something else I was looking at along the way that I learned about, but I can't think of it right in the moment. Like I said, there was a lot of turkey earlier, so I was a little sleepy as I did it. And all of that was trying to avoid too much 118. Oh, I was looking at the hearts of mobs going into the arbalistic thing. Like, okay, what mobs have lower hearts? And I think the bottom line is, I don't know, we may try getting them without a potion. I don't know that it's possible, though. I don't think you can get all of them killed, regardless of the hearts, unless you got all... Maybe you could get all small mobs and get it that way. Okay, got all the big guys. You're all in very big trouble now. So one thing I don't know which episode it was. It was probably within the last week. But there was, this is kind of a backwards, disjointed thought, so bear with me a little bit. After I was an older kid and probably outside the demographic for this movie a little bit, but it was still kind of in the wheelhouse of being at that age when PG was edgy movies as a kid for comedies and stuff. But you're starting to discover more than just Disney animated movies. And there's a comedy kids kind of movie. Oh, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I think this is the movie that I'm talking about. They all kind of blend. But I don't remember what year it came out. I don't remember if I'm just falsely remembering it as a kid and it was much later or not. But the premise was, it's this like big family of kids, maybe a single mom, and she has to go out of town or whatever. So they get this babysitter, I believe, and I don't remember much of the movie, but I know there were at least 3 kids, and then I think they had like an old lady babysitter, right? So it wasn't like, a horror movie or anything like that. But she's got this like house sitter, babysitter, old woman who, hey, no problem, I can take care of your kids. I don't know. It wasn't like a grandma or anything. It was just a random babysitter lady. So she comes for an extended child care deal while the mom has to go on a business trip, let's say. And the kids, predictably, she passes away. It's all, okay, what are we going to do now? And then, basically unsupervised kids kind of think Home Alone, but I think it was before that. And it's multiple kids. So they're, it's like older sister and older brother, and they're trying to get up to teen trouble. And then there's younger kids that are just running around trashing the house and all that. And they're trying to, hold everything together so they don't, their mom doesn't find out and ruin her big business deal or whatever the plot was. But at one point, the older brother, like, I think the sister was getting on him, like, dude, you got to clean the dishes. Our kitchen is a disaster. And he's up on the roof. I think it's probably like a pellet gun or something, but I always had the impression it was a shotgun. He's basically like throwing all the plates as clay pigeons and shooting them with the gun. And the line is, the dishes are done, man, because he's just shot them all, right? So they have no more dishes, but he doesn't have to clean them. And that line, the dishes are done, man, has stuck with me for so long. And so I don't know what it was that we were finishing a while back, but it always, this game makes me think of, the dishes are done, man. The grind is done. The grind is never done, sadly, but not sadly. If it was done, then we wouldn't have more reason to come back. And we'll always have new projects we think of that we want to work. Seemed to get an extra hop off that lava. I don't think was quite legit. So, if anybody also has memories of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, or if that's even the right movie, if anybody remembers the scene I'm talking about. Some of those things, though, you see them as a kid, and they just hit at the right moment, and you're like, oh, that movie was huge. Everybody saw that. It was really just like straight to video, but everybody in your school class saw it because the little like local movie shop, rental shop had it. And people are like, what are you talking about? What was this movie? We're close. Come on, guys. I can't believe we didn't even get to breaking more netherrack from just as stupid. We even expanded our area so we could see more of you. Just reinforces we need that Enderman farm. Somebody I'd subscribed to recently had a video that was showing they had added like a data pack. It was more than just a texture because they were running their Ender farm and they had golden carrots in their inventory, then they also had a thing called ender carrots, which I suspect were chorus fruits, because when you ate them, you would just teleport. They just moved around. So I assume that they took the coding for chorus fruit, gave it a new game ID, and then a texture for the carrot, but with kind of end colors. But yeah, they had an Enderman farm, like the one I'd like to build, and we're gathering these carrots from all the Endermen they were killing. Kind of fun. So those are cool ways that you can add just a little bit of unique feel to what's otherwise a vanilla game. Because I think there's a lot of people like me that don't want to go to the point where you've got like a dozen mods all running at the same time, but maybe just a couple of different textures help give your game some life. I don't think we had a torch there, did we? And I don't think it really helps. Let's put one up there. Got somebody coming down the steps there, maybe. Stop going that way. Alright, now you're clear. Got this guy. Closer. One little guy knocks me back that much. That's why they're so scary when you don't even have the netherite armor and they can give you their full knockback effect. Whew! Not to mention the big ones and all the damage they do. I definitely am terrified of these early game. When we're making these first little pathways out and around. And the fact that they can climb the lava falls and that they drop from those heights and just land on you. Oof. He'll be a while. If he even comes back over. Come on, guys. We gotta get this done. Oh, man. Oh, no, we're over. Well, we're not over. It's like 58 minutes, though. Well, guys, we did not make it. I am shocked. I seriously thought we got these picks, no problem, and we'll be up in the gas hall clearing out. And, maybe, I said at the beginning, maybe we'll even have time to wrap up the netherrack, but no, not even close. Or not the netherrack, the advancement. Not even close. We've still got to do the haul tomorrow, or again, check Twitter, subscribe on YouTube if you got this. I don't have a plan to come back and do another episode this evening or late today, but I won't rule it out either. It's a holiday weekend, and I don't have big plans or anything for tonight, so I may be around here and I may find, I want to play some more Minecraft. So stay tuned, but it's YouTube. They'll be here whenever it's convenient. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in, and as I said, we've got plans in the future. Next, starting out, we'll clean up the repairs. We'll go finish out the gas hall, removing the netherrack. Now, I think we can safely say that'll all be done in the next episode. Then we'll go back to base, and we will work to complete the arbalistic advancement that we missed. And then we will turn to preparing for the upcoming 118 and the How Did We Get Here advancement by knocking out a bunch of dragon respawns, potentially building up the gateway around, but leaving those preserved to make Shulker, returning a Shulker to the overworld, an easier thing once we get to 118 and really begin to seriously look at trying to get How Do We Get Here. So that's the plan. That's what all you missed. If you guys have tips from having done that yourself in Java, in hardcore, so no cheats, no nether roof, that kind of stuff, please feel free to leave a comment, or just say hi. It's always fun to meet you guys, especially if you have your own content. Really appreciate y'all. Again, still in that Thanksgiving spirit. I'm so thankful for having met all of you guys virtually and been able to share a little bit of our common enjoyment of Minecraft. So say hi. I'll come check out your stuff if you got any, and wish you well. Till then, though, enjoy your afternoon and evening. Watch for more on Twitter and or the subscribed feed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Stay awesome.